Do you like Disney movies? Well, I do. And I will tell you that pretty much every time I watch a Disney movie, I walk away reflecting on the character development that took place in the movie. In particular, the professional development lessons that one can glean from watching a Disney movie and being open minded and thinking outside of the box of what you can get from a movie aside from just the entertainment of the movie itself. So, what I am going to do is unpack a little bit the Aladdin movie by looking at three of the main characters from the movie. So, first, we'll look at Aladdin himself. He was an orphan, and some may also call him a street hustler. He did not have the best reputation in his community, and people did not have the best things to say about him. If you listen to some of the comments that he makes throughout the movie, you can draw the perception that he was internalizing the negative thoughts that others had of him. And with that, he considered himself to have limited opportunities to be able to go further than where he was. So, with that being said, I want you to think about from the perspective of considering yourself to have limited opportunities because of your background or your current environment. If you find yourself in that situation, I want you to do these three things. First, conduct a gap analysis. And when you conduct the gap analysis, look at where you are currently to where you want to be. What is it that's in the gap that you need to close? Once you do that, set some goals for yourself, some measurable goals that you have milestones that will keep you on track of completing those goals in order to close the gaps that you have identified from doing the gap analysis. The last thing that I want you to do is to be willing to take small steps in order to set a foundation for yourself so that when you do get promoted into your next opportunity that you're ready for it because you have gained the knowledge and gained the experience from taking those small steps. As you may recall from the movie, Aladdin was promoted into the prince position when he wasn't ready for it. So what you don't want to do is to get yourself promoted into a position or given a position when you're not ready for it. So be willing to conduct your gap analysis, create and set some meaningful goals for yourself, and be willing to take some small steps in order to get where you need to be in order to create that foundation. The second person that I want to look at, or the second character that I want to look at from the movie, is Jasmine. So, Jasmine lived a sheltered life. She was mostly um, held within the palace itself. So, her view of life was just from an internal perspective of what she was exposed to when she was in the palace itself. So in the movie, she ended up sneaking outside of the palace, disguising herself in order to see what's going on in her outside environment. And by doing that, she was able to get a different perspective of what was happening. So when you think about that from your own career perspective, if you find yourself being too internally focused based on just the things that are happening within your work environment, within your workplace, within your company, what you are doing is you are limiting your growth opportunities, you're limiting your network. And that is the opposite of what you want to do. So, if you find yourself in that space to where all of the knowledge and all of the information and all of your network is coming from your internal work environment, do these next couple things. First, join a professional organization that is related to either your career field or the industry that you work in. Next, you would want to, or maybe not next, but another thing that you would want to do is to attend professional networking events. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a seminar or a conference, but those things are really good. But some laid back professional networking events that are intended specifically for networking, and that will allow you to be able to expand your network and to have a diversity of people from different industries and backgrounds that you'll be able to connect with. The third character that I want to take a look at is the genie himself. So the genie was considered the most powerful person, but when you look at the genie, all the power that he had could not get him out of the lamp by himself. And he also had to depend on others in order to be able to get to that next level, that goal that he had for himself. So watch the movie and you'll know what it is that he wanted. But he needed to depend on someone else to be able to get that for him. So all the power that he had, he was not able to fulfill a goal that he had for himself. So with that being said, if you find yourself climbing up your ladder and you hit those career goals, and you're just steadily progressing in your career, remember to always stay humble and to recognize that regardless to how much power you have or authority that you don't have all the power and you don't have all the authority. So stay humble and reach out to folks when you do need help. The second thing is to learn from others. Be willing to learn from others. It can be very exhausting if you're trying to learn and to know everything. So be willing to take a step back and to learn different things from other people so that you are not putting all that pressure on yourself to try to know everything. And the final thing is to be clear about what it is that you want from others. So when you are making requests of others, make sure they clearly know what it is that you're asking them for. And also for your own self, make sure that you know specifically what it is that you need for someone else as you're moving forward in your career so that you can easily articulate that request to others. So I'm going to stop there, but there are so many other nuggets that you can find within the Aladdin movie as it relates to professional development lessons or things that you can grab for professional development. So I'm curious if you've watched the movie, and if you haven't, I encourage you to do so. What other professional development lessons might you want to pass on to someone else when they are watching Aladdin? So please comment. Let us know what your thoughts are as it relates to what someone else may be able to glean from one of those movies. I look forward to hearing from you. Remember, always stay bold, go after the desires of your heart, and remember that no one else can do it for you. Have a good one.